Here we go with another mess. Shazam! That's what happens when you tear out a laundry in a closet room. Okay, first thing on the agenda is to frame this doorway in. We're going to use a 36-inch door, one that's been ordered. So we got 36 for the door, 1.5 for the jamb, 3/4 for shim. That's 3/8 on each side. Gives us a rough opening of 38.25. We chalk the line down here to connect the left and the right wall. Laid off our door, and we'll begin to frame it. Next thing on the list is going to be moving this plumbing around. So we're going to have to cut a piece of the floor out, kick that pipe off, go up into the attic, cut that off, put a cap on that, and then we will address the copper. So we've got our hands full today. All right, let's take a look at this. First thing we did is add a jack to this side of the door to get the door off this wall enough to be able to case it properly, put the trim mark on it. And we have a plate nailed screwed to the floor, so we'll go ahead and put the stud in the jack on this side. And that'll just about, and then we'll throw one here, catch the drywall on the outside, and that'll about do it for the door framing. All right, we got our doorway framed. We got stud here to receive the angle brackets for the shelves. We got one down the center here to receive the angle brackets for that. Got them clearly marked on the floor, and we'll take pictures of this so I know where to look for them. And next, we're gonna cut this thing apart. Been pretty supper I've had. Well, that makes a big difference. Go get me a bigger ladder so I can get up in that attic space. You want to come up, Lisa? No. So here's our pipe. We're going to cut it off right behind this elbow and put a cap on it, and that'd be the end of that. Let's bring them back down here where it's warm. I mean cool. All right, that's the end of that minute. But if anybody ever decides to put this back sometime, it's still there. You got insulation all over you. That was refreshing. It looks like we can make that happen. So we're gonna cut this out so we can get to these pipes. Got something. Did you see the spark? Hear that air? There's the other one. I should allow the water to drain down enough for us to have a dry pipe so we can solder it. Go. Have a look-see. Insulation's falling down. Have to do something with that at some point. Alright, we'll get these ready to solder and we'll come back at you. Okay, we got our pipes cut below the floor and we do this old school. I know they got shark bites and all kind of cool stuff to cap these things off. We don't do that. We'll sweat them on. Just like your granddaddy did. But somebody, whoever plumbed this place, look at these pipes. Now that ain't no way to leave something. So, before we close this hole up permanently, we'll put some blocking down there and strap these pipes into place. Hopefully there's enough water out of them. I can get them sweat. Should. Okay, and remember, cleanliness is next to godliness if you want to sweat a pipe. Say hi. Watch out, suck it all the way around to the back side of that pipe. It gets the right temperature. See that? Watch this, Scott. You'll see this thing once it reaches the right temperature. I'll touch it on this side and it'll suck the solder all the way around to the heat side. It's going to follow the heat. See that? Now if you can see on this side of the pipe, it's amazing. That's why I don't understand why more people don't solder. It's not difficult. The trick is, it's got to be clean. It's got to be dry. Slightest hint of water, and you sit there all day long with a torch. Alright. Morning has broken. So, we got the old pipes cut off and capped. Put some 2x4s in there to brace the pipes because they were just swinging in the air. So the next thing we're gonna do is take this old outlet, get it up in the wall for a convenience outlet, and then we're gonna jump around here where there's going to be a cabinet, and we're gonna put one there. And that will take care of the old electric outlet, and then we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna kill the circuit on this old dryer outlet, and we're gonna remove that. So I'm gonna drill some holes so I can get my wire around there and we'll get rolling. All right, let me show you how we did this. We got the old wash machine circuit, which is on that white wire, number 12. We brought it up into this box and just pigtailed them in and out. Being number 12 wire, it's a lot easier to just hook the outlet to a pigtail than it is to try to hook 4 wires. It's just a pain in the butt. Anyway, we jump back out on the yellow wire, come right through here, up through the bottom for a convenience outlet right here where a cabinet will be sitting. So, if you wonder why we did this is pretty simple. This stuff's stiff, it's number 12, it's running a 20 amp circuit. So it has to be 12. And if you try to hook all 4 of these wires to a outlet, it's just difficult. Just easier to pigtail it. And you got 2 wires on the outlet plus the ground, and that's it. It's a done deal. So next we will eliminate that dryer outlet, and then we will reinstall this insulation. Okay, we got the outlet for the dryer disassembled, and it's curled up and stapled to that piece of 2x4 there, and it's written on the wire that it's abandoned. It's clean and neat, clearly identifiable. This Scott, say hi to YouTube, Scott. Hello. Floor patched, glued and screwed. We'll go over this with some 3/8 AC, and then we're going to put a VCT floor on it. So we're going to pull this old drywall out, drop that light fixture, and we'll end up with 2 LED recessed lights. British drywall hyper in the back of her head. You remember that one drywall lady they called Scary Mary?
Just hiding.
Huh?
Just hiding.
Lisa, why ain't you doing this part?
Letting you try it out first time.
I need to practice. Nah, that's nice. I gotta show these folks that. Look at this. Whoever put this panel box in, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. That's the way it's supposed to look. You see, they're curled up right there in the corner in case anybody ever needs them to go back that way again. They're in here. So that does that. Put the panel box out wrong, it's time to go home. All right, here we go, ceiling's up. Fresh and clean, glued and screwed. Next thing is to put some drywall on these walls. Nice and clean. Okay, today we're gonna hang some drywall on this new pantry. I'm flying solo, Lisa's with the grandbabies, but that's okay, I can handle it. It's not that big a job, and shouldn't take long. Plus it's a good workout, good exercise. drywall jack. That can get your joints nice and tight. Alright, so when we were tearing this out, that's open to a bulkhead on the other side. And we've seen that through the years, mice have come through the bulkhead, dropped down to the bottom of the wall, and of course that's where they laid till they died. There's probably 5 or 6 of them in there, all in various stages of decomposition. So we put a couple pieces of drywall up there to end the field mice suicide. Okay, that does it for the drywall. We'll come back in the morning and start the finishing process. And there is a method to the madness when it comes to that. Do all the flats first, and you do the butt joints. That's a butt joint. See that? They're flush. This is a tape joint, they're beveled. And then we'll pull all the corners. So we'll give you a quick lesson in that. All right, we're out of here till tomorrow. Always leave your project tidy and clean. I just got sweat in my eye, oh, it burns. Anyway, floors are clean, rugs clean, tools are neat. Floor's been vacuumed. Treat it like it was your house. Okay, this morning we are going to start taping this drywall, finishing it, start the finishing process. So one thing you need to understand is, we're going to gloss this over, just do a quickie on this because it could get pretty involved. This video will be 3 days long. So first off, you got to treat this as a whole. You're not finishing individual pieces. You're finishing this little room as a whole, and it wouldn't matter if the room was this size or 16 by 16 or whatever. All the same. So first we're going to do, just going to go around, tape the butt joints. I mean the tape joints. Okay. Then we'll get the butt joints. Then we'll jump to the ceiling, get the tape joint there, and we'll catch the perimeter, all the corners. Then we'll pull these corners. And when we go to spreading the mud, it's pretty much the same process. You gotta split them up and catch them all evenly so your finishing process stays in sync, or you'll end up at the end of the day with some finished, some not finished, and that can be a problem. Also, I made a boo-boo. Let me show you how we fix that. I was running my mouth instead of paying attention to what I was doing, cut the outlet low. So we got this piece of drywall, which I call 1 inch wider, or 2 inches wider and 1 inch taller. Then scored the backside, pulled the drywall off to make a patch for this. And we'll load this up with mud, put it in place, even out the seams, and then as we're finishing, we'll skim it a couple times and it will be virtually indetectable. So, first thing we're gonna do is mix up some of this mud and get the ball rolling. Look at just at it. So you know, look at all the tools. All of them different knives for finishing drywall. Crazy. Tools, tools, tools. All right, so I'm gonna mix this up, then we'll get rolling. Let me show you what I got here, what I'm gonna be using. I'm going old school. I don't use a mud pan. I got a 6-inch knife, a 4-inch knife, and a trowel. All of these are well used, broke in, and that can take a while. So when somebody borrows your knife to do something they ain't supposed to do with it, comes back nicked or broke, you're not really happy about that. All right, mix up some mud. First we're going to put a bit of mud in the tape joint. If there are cracks, make sure that they're filled, because if they don't, when the tape dries, it will bubble out. And no matter how many times you go over it with a skim coat, it's going to bubble. I'm using a 6-inch knife for this. That's what your tape joint should look like. And if you see that, we're going to take the remainder of what's on this trowel before we dip and get new, and we're going to spot all the holes. And you see, I'm not doing that and leaving something on there. When I spot these holes, I push it in, wipe it clean. Because the drywall mud's gonna shrink when it dries. And every time you come back in here to hit these tape joints, you're gonna hit these as well. All right, I'm gonna run all these tape joints, spot these holes, and we'll get back at you. You see the corner, vertical corner, and then the horizontal corners at the top overlapping. And so you try to leave that tape nice and smooth. The smoother you leave it, the easier it's going to be to put the finish coat on. Trust me. All right, we got our taping finished. So this is pretty much what it should look like. Drying pretty quick. Hot, the air conditioner's on, and of course the air conditioner sucks the moisture out of there, so also keep the sides of your bucket nice and clean when you're working with this stuff. You'll be glad you did. I got my corners pulled right to 6 inches. Tape joints are skimmed.
Yeah.
All the nail holes been hit again. So yeah, moving right along. Going to be the pantry of the century. You gonna do anything today? You gonna do anything today? Alright, here we are. This is gonna be our last trip other than skimming these corners one more time. You see that we got one side that has not been finished yet. So we're gonna block those. The opposite sides are these corners. And then we're gonna run a skim coat on all these tape and butt joints. We're gonna hit the nail holes one more time and it will almost be ready for sanding. All right, we got these flats skimmed, you can see. You take your time with this, it takes very little sanding before you can paint. That's for a piece of wood so you don't see this. When this door is shut, you don't see this floor in the hallway. So we're gonna use crown staples or horseshoe nails to nail this floor down with. And if you look at my gun, it's about 8 inches from here to here. Because you want these crown staples between 6 and 8 inches on center in both directions. All right, that does it for our underlayment. And you can see there's no shortage of nails. Also, you can see where we hit these corners. Skimmed them again this morning. So this will be pretty much ready to sand and put a coat of primer on. First, we're going to install the floor. It's a glue down. So we'll do that first, and then we'll cover the floor. We'll sand it, put some primer on it, and then move on to the next step. And this awesome pantry build.